Hi, I'm Elizabeth at the Radford Public Library, and I had promised to give a more optimistic and fun book recommendation after my last brutal one. So I am doing that, and that book recommendation is for this new fiction titled The Cook, and it's written by a French author whose name I'm sure I'm not going to pronounce correctly, Maylis de Kerangal, and it was released in French and translated by a Sam Taylor, whose name I can read. But this was a really delightful and delicious book to read. The main character, really the only character, is a chef named Morrow, and he starts off very early in life being kind of fascinated with putting food together, like baking cakes, and then when he's a teen, kind of feeding his friends things that are just better and healthier for you than fast food. And then he just really develops a love of cooking. And I want to read a brief part about this from this book. So the main character is Morrow. From the very beginning, Morrow enters the kitchen as if he were entering a magical sphere, part playground and part laboratory. There he employs fire and water, commands machines and robots, and soon he has mastered several metamorphoses, melting and crystallizing, evaporating and boiling, the passage from solid to liquid, from hot to cold, from white to black, and vice versa, from raw to cooked. The kitchen is the theater of the world's transformation. In this way, cooking quickly becomes something more than a game with fixed rules. It is an object lesson, a chemical and sensory adventure. That's very much what this was. Definitely a sensory adventure. I highly recommend it if you enjoy cooking or eating, even a little bit. It's so romantic. It's lots of fun to learn about the different meals that he prepares. He travels all over and learns how to cook in Bangkok as well as in Burma, Berlin, France, and then by the age of 24, he is opening up his own restaurant. And the author actually interviewed a few different chefs, but there's one particular chef that this main character, Morrow, embodies. And the way the story is told is from an unidentified narrator, which really turns out just to be the author. This was her admitted way of writing a fiction instead of a nonfiction. So she gets very comfortable in learning what it is like in the life of a chef. It's actually quite stressful, all the planning and preparation, and Morrow does his own shopping at market. He hand selects the cuts of meat from the butcher. He learns about what kind of wine that he needs to purchase, so it's very involved. Everything is very specific, very detailed and planned. And really the language is quite lush. I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed hearing about all these meals and even the descriptions of the different places that he lives, the streets, the markets. You get a good sense of those adventures that he goes on. But I highly recommend this if you enjoy food and language about food. I think you'll find this particularly tasty. Again, it's titled The Cook, and we have it here at the Radford Public Library.